Hello and welcome to today's Daily Dominion, which is a Renaissance Guilds board. We have quite some fast stuff if we want to go. I mean, really for a couple approaches that are fast things. So we have, and I will just say, just right off the bat, that if you have a 5-2 here and you can open Sculptor or Butcher plus Lackeys, that's a lot better than the 3-4. So it can be tough here depending on your split, but so the money thing is just like the AI will probably do it by Lackeys and Butcher, and just like they'll mill some provinces and shorten the game. The engine thing is like Academy, which gives you Villager every time you gain an action card, and then there's just, there's a million actions here between Sculptor, or between the Lackeys. Plenty of draw between Journeyman and Lackeys, Plaza Herald, Sculptor. It's all here. And I expect it should be fast enough. That shouldn't really be a problem. If we had whatchamacallit, Canal, is that what it's called? The $7 project that lowers everything by 1. If we had that, then we could do the Scepter Sculptor thing, but we don't. Or just the Sculptor thing. We might not even mess around with the Scepters too much. I guess the other worry about building is that you may open up a 3 pile. That's certainly possible before you can catch up in points. You should be pretty capable of doing duchies here, I would expect. We're just taking, 3 or 4 provinces, depending on how many are left. But so we're gonna play the engine just because, otherwise, why even live? I'm gonna open silver, and I'm gonna do Stonemason double Lackeys, which I'm not 100% convinced of. We unfortunately have the AI getting this isn't the draw here we want. I mean, it's fine. We found a Lackeys. Ideally, we have this with a copper, not a state, which of course isn't. We can't really count on that happening anyway. But I think I'm going to take a Butcher first. So there's certainly an argument to be made for taking a Sculptor, and then our next 5. We're just going to be buying these Lackeys pretty much every time they pop up. Okay, again, we have missed that, but we're going to get another Lackeys, and then we can either go Copper Trash, spend a token. I mean, we might as well. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the Academy now. To be honest, you could maybe skip Academy for a while, but you can't skip it forever. So this is a little sad. So the question now is bought Academy. The AI will have no action issues either. So then this question is whether there's value in getting another Stonemason for 2 Lackeys. It's not like extra draw, though it, you may be able to get some use out of the Stonemason. I think I'll just take Lackeys and save the coffer. It's kind of nice to be able to go 2 cost into a 5 here. Certainly if we had like bomb decked some of these estates, or there's like a Lackeys down in here, I think Lackeys and copper, 2 Lackeys. If we'd found those, I would have just gone for the Sculptor, but we don't have that, so we'll just see how the AI does here. Buys another Butcher. Okay, this isn't perfect, but I guess it's okay. Let's see. We could trash the silvers for 2 Lackeys. Buy a Sculptor. Trying to think. There's some angles where we want we have 7 in hand, 8 possible. So we could trash a copper. I'd don't know if the AI will go so hard for pile outs. I'm actually not sure there'll be like a really great third pile. I'll probably get at least one more butcher, but that's still not forever low. Let's go silver into 2 lackeys and buy a sculptor. And then if we draw an estate, yeah, okay, nice. So we're gonna go ahead and put I think a journeyman into this shuffle. Okay. And then the sculptors now can start gaining a few different things. This is like either a herald or a plaza. They're reasonable. I would say may want to leave the journeyman. So we know there's a journeyman in the bottom 3 here. Although we do want to buy sculptor. So maybe we just draw on. I'm not sure this was correct, but whatever. So I'm going to trash another copper and buy another sculptor. So the AI is doing their thing. They play this stuff in just terrible order, right? Like you're going to play the lackeys first so that you can draw estates or whatever and butcher them. It's so stupid. I don't know. Like that kind of stuff is just stuff that I think the approach should be able to figure out. Like all it has to do is play it both ways 1,000 times and see that the lackeys first is way better. But anyway, that is neither here nor there at this point. So we're going to, so the payload questions at this point, they do have a lot of coffers, but that'll probably dry up somewhat quickly. We're gonna either, so we have a question, or we have a decision to make about. It's nice that we have 2 really good forests here because it's gonna allow us to kind of split these without really risking a 3 pile in either direction. What I was gonna say though is that our question now is like whether we want to pick up a merchant guild or just more butchers. There's some really nice merchant guild stuff here. I just not sure how long it'll take. Anyway, this is pretty easy. We're gonna do this and name copper. I'm gonna keep taking the plazas for now, even though there's definitely some sort of argument to be made for taking something else. I don't know about that discard, but it shouldn't matter too much. The plazas help us. Let's not discard here. The plazas help us get so that we're not spending quite so many villagers every turn, which is nice. Okay, I'm gonna take a merchant guild. I'm gonna do something here that may shock and appall some of the viewers. Actually, I'm not. I thought I was going to, but it turns out I'm not going to. So there is a world where you buy a gold here. You buy a gold here, and then that means then you stonemason the gold. But I think I'm just going to buy the stonemason. This takes a coffer, but you get a bunch of villagers, and you get a journeyman, maybe even 2 journeymen. I was thinking journeyman merchant guild. But I don't know. We should be still okay on the... Okay, this is fortunate. It could have gone bad. Okay. Again, this order is horrific. We're not going to toss those things just because. Well, because, yeah, we're getting close to the spot where the Herald really looks. The bad thing about the Herald is it's pretty easy to hit like a Stonemason, which might be awkward at points. So gonna avoid that for now. Okay. So we're gonna get another merchant guild. Maybe that should. Maybe we had the draw there to get a butcher. Actually, I didn't think about that too much. We got 3 merchant guilds now. You can also go super masterpiece, I guess. Though I'm not going to do that. We don't have a huge amount of money, unfortunately. But should be okay. This is almost certainly got to be just double. So we're gonna get 3. We're gonna get 9 coffers here. Trying to think if next when we'll be able to green. They saw all of their butchers in this turn because they played 2 of them and they trashed one of them. They didn't shuffle or anything, so they're still ways away from butcher plays. They actually just don't have anything. I mean, there may be some lackeys in here, but okay. I definitely think there's a world where you can go heavier on both butcher and sculptor. I just wasn't totally sure of the window for that. This should probably be double journeyman. And we should go ahead and buy like a Plaza or a Herald because I guess it doesn't have to be double journeyman. One nice thing, no, you get those. What am I up to? Oh, so this is the second game. Should we get the... do we need 5 down on the next turn? Let me think. We could green a little bit on the next turn. I mean, certainly if we can play it, it's nice to have it. We don't really... we have some overdraw here. I don't know. We could have played the lackeys also. I wonder, whoa, how far back can we go? Yeah, we could even here play lackeys. And it saves us, it costs a villager, but it saves us a... That's the question, whether we... Now I've gone even further back in time. The question is whether we need those villagers for the next turn, which we probably do, to be honest. Let's not do it. I'm not going to trade a coffer for a villager. Okay, so... honestly, I think we win even if we hit the... I think the most important thing here is just not dudding, so... we do this, and we are going to spend a coffer, or spend the coffers on the plaza. It basically lowers us by 1 coffer because we have 3 merchant guilds, so we're going to get 3 coffers back for buying it. So it costs a coffer to buy the plaza. I'm not going to buy coppers. This is, again, it's just one of those situations where you're only goal is to avoid the dud. We're getting close to the point where something like a merchant guild is maybe a reasonable name. But I don't think so yet. There's another possibility at some point is to do like Stonemason Journeyman trash too. Which would be probably not the play, but so you can get a couple heralds or something, so you net some villagers, you probably end up with about the same draw. And we have all these lackeys that we're just not playing, so there may be something to that. On the other hand, it is a little bit more uncertain in the draw and possibly a little more village hungry. I'm not sure exactly how that'll work out. I'm going to say no to it, though I'm not at all certain. We are slowly kind of getting, well, we're also adding turtles every turn. I was going to say we're slowly reaching a point where we're kind of supporting our action count with just villages, but that's not really true. I'm thinking we add a second butcher here. Okay. 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 Now we've got the money. Or now we're getting to the money. So let's do a stonemason for 5. Definitely 2 of these. I don't think there's any sort of 3 pile risk. They have shuffled the deck. But there's still a lot of cards left, so I don't want to go like too crazy on any of it, but we can even buy a herald here to top deck some junk. So we have 5. Let's do this again. And then we can just buy 1 herald here and top deck a journeyman. Now I might buy the coppers. 1 anyway. How many cards do we? So far we've gained 7 cards, so 7, that's 28 coffers, which should be enough to get the provinces along with our money. Maybe 1 coffer. Okay, so there we go. We still have 12 of these guys. 12 villagers left. It was almost certainly safe to buy both the coppers, but all right, let's see what they. Of course, the herald misses. Curse you, herald. I don't know. What are we even doing now? I'll give a second chance. All right, redemption. Good work, Harold. You want to try and maximize points? I don't know exactly what that looks like here, to be perfectly honest. Probably involves saving a plaza to get stonemasoned, if I had to guess. I don't know that it probably does involve playing the journeyman. All right, we got 15 actions still left. That's a lot. Guess we know we're going to play these. We still have 11. Okay, let's do it. We got a little less money than probably we could have, but well, we can do silver. We don't technically have the draw for that, actually. We play the last lackeys. Yeah, we'll just end it. I don't know. Then send these into duchies, I guess, is probably the play. I mean, they could be duchies or they can be provinces. Either one is fine. The same. Okay. Well, that ran pretty well. If you have a 5-2, it can fly. Because if you can get Lackey's Butcher, and then you just Lackey's Estates, and then next fight, you know, pretty much the same deck and same order, but you just skip the part where you have to buy silver. So, fun little kingdom. Definitely classic Renaissance kingdom for sure. But and the guild stuff was really complimentary of it here. The Stonemasons, like it was just all very, you know, everything goes together, which is fun to play sometimes. Most of the time, even. All right, that's the game. Hope you enjoyed it. I bought 3 butchers, then eventually butchered one of the butchers. They didn't do anything. They didn't even manage to butcher estates. I don't know if that was just bad draw, or more likely it was that the AI was playing the butchers before the lackeys. Probably on many of those turns, there could have been a butchered estate, but they're just playing the order wrong, which is disappointing to see because it might have been a tighter game, but as it was, it did not end up close. We're back to 7. Hooray. You can just pretend I didn't lose ever. These stats are bugged, we already know, and I've never lost. I'll see you tomorrow.